Hello and welcome to lesson number 20 in our Learn to Draw in 30 Days video series. Today marks the beginning of the third segment of this class, which is all about putting it into practice. The first chunk was learning how to see like an artist, then we learned some of the basics of drawing, and now it's time to get to work. In today's class, we're going to be working on drawing from life. So sharpen your pencil, get some paper, and let's go. Okay, I'd like to ask everybody to pause this video and go find a simple object laying somewhere around your house. It does not matter what it is, but something that's three-dimensional and somewhat simple that you can draw. Here is mine, little birdie. So go ahead and press pause, go find something, because today is all about drawing from life. All right, are you back? Are you ready? Now, I'll be drawing mine, and if you don't feel like going and getting something of your own right now, you could certainly draw the bird along with me too. However, part of what I really wanted to talk about with you today is the difference between drawing something that's three-dimensional right in front of you versus drawing something from a photograph or from a screen. So this is really a good opportunity to try your hand at drawing something that's sitting right in front of you. Now, I adjusted my lighting a little bit so that there is a little bit more lighting coming from one direction here. You can see how there's more shadow on this side, more light over here. That makes your still life drawing more interesting. So if you have any kind of ability to manipulate the lighting, you might want to try something like that also. I'm going to start by just lightly sketching out the shapes, just like I would with anything else. When you're drawing from a still life, you want to, the way I'm doing it here is not ideal. You wouldn't normally lay it down flat on your paper. You would stand it up probably somewhere in front of you. And it's good to set up your objects far enough away from you so that, every slight movement that you make doesn't cause the perspective on the object to change. If you're really right up on it, you might turn your head a little bit one way or the other, and it'll suddenly look like a totally different thing. But you can see I'm starting it the same way that I would any other sketch, just very loose, laying in the shapes, trying to get the right proportions, the right basic shapes laid out first. Starting with my very non-committal approach, holding the pencil far back towards the back. In my case, gotta get little birdie's beak in there. The more directional lighting you can have, the better. I couldn't do too dramatic of a lighting here for you in this example because I wouldn't be able to see my drawing, and neither would you. But what you don't want is frontal lighting where there's no shadows, because drawing something three-dimensional, the advantage is that you can really see the volume, and the way that you sort of manipulate the lighting can really help with that. It can help to bring that out. So whatever it is that you chose to draw today, as you're sketching it, and especially once you get to the shading, really look for how the light and the shadow affects it. Okay, going to draw the little stand. This is a little different than our other lessons we've done so far. It's a little more individualized, so hopefully everybody's drawing maybe something that is meaningful or interesting to you. I think that that's a really cool, valuable thing to do also as an artist. It keeps it interesting for you. makes you start thinking a little bit too about, using your art as a tool for self-expression. It's not just about trying to draw things, the right way. It's about drawing because it's representing something. It's communicating something that's meaningful to you. There is no right way. All right, I've just about got the essence of it on there, so now I'm going to clean up my lines a little bit and then start doing some shading. Some of you, I bet, are going to get really into this drawing and want to spend longer on it. I hope you do. Take all the time you need. Still life drawing is so valuable. Really being able to study something that's right in front of you. One of the advantages of that is that photography often doesn't fully capture all of the effects of the light and shadow. It can make, especially in the extremes, they can get kind of washed out. Shadows can all go kind of black. Highlights can all go kind of white. When you have something in front of you, you can see the subtle nuances a lot better. What you are likely discovering is that even though you may have thought you picked a simple object, it's probably a little bit more complex than you realized when you really stop and look at it. Just like for me, looking at this bird, I'm noticing all the little kind of carved, marks all throughout its body. I could spend a lot of time on this drawing. I might too. I know we've only got 10 minutes right now and we're getting close to the end already. Jeez. But once you really start looking at things, boy, you realize how interesting the world is. That's what I love so much about drawing in general. It just makes you appreciate things so much more. I'm a very kind of fast-paced person. I'm always on the go. And when I'm drawing or painting, it just makes me slow down and really appreciate whatever it is that I am painting or drawing. Makes me think about it and see it in ways that I never would if otherwise. Okay, so now I'm going to start shading. And I'm going to try, in my case, and bring out some of the different planes. We've talked about those before. Those are just the different sections that I am seeing of the object. So I see darker values, so I'm going to go ahead and start laying those in. I'm using a softer lead pencil for everything. You could also use the full range of pencils like we showed in a previous lesson where you start with the harder leads and work your way through to the softer to build up those values more. This is the quicker method though, just press harder when you want it dark. Usually when you're working from life, you do have to take into account timing. I know especially plein air landscape artists, those are the artists who go outside and paint, landscapes from nature. They have to use a lot of quick shortcuts in order to be able to effectively capture what they're seeing before the light changes. If you're sitting inside, probably have a little bit more control over that sort of thing. Just get lost working on a drawing like this. Now I want to draw every single little carving mark. If you're getting too caught up in the little details, which can happen sometimes, especially when you are working from life, because I think you notice them more, you see them right there in front of you. Squint your eyes. Squinting your eyes causes all of the tiny details to kind of go away, and it allows you to focus on the bigger picture at first. And then you can always go back if you have more time and bring out all those little details too. Cute little guy. Even the little platform it's on has different values on each plane. See that? And sometimes it shifts. Over here is quite a bit darker than the top. The side's quite a bit lighter. How are your drawings coming? Are you having fun? You better be. Don't forget, this is supposed to be fun now. Don't get stressed. Sometimes when you're used to drawing from photos, drawing from life can feel a little challenging at first, but I would encourage you to keep trying it. It really is a very, very valuable exercise. All right, there's mine. I'd love to see yours too. Hope you had fun. Drawing from life is wonderful because life is all around you. You can do it anywhere. You can find something to draw no matter where you're at. Even if you only have a minute or a few minutes, you can get out your pencil and sketch and get some practice in. So I encourage you to do that as much as you can. Share your artwork with us in the Art Makes Us Facebook group. And I'll see you tomorrow for our next class, where we're going to be learning about ink drawing. See you then. Bye-bye.